Hi, Fives here, doing a video on tips and tricks. Stop coming up, a little message. Uh, Tips and tricks on the noble arms. But before I get into that, I wanted to say got my first Gwenhwyfar yesterday. Very happy about that. Thanks to, give a shout out to Daniel or Dylan. I can't remember. It starts with a Dan, D-A-N. Very cool guy with a coat. Look forward to seeing him again. He also helped me facilitate my third and final Dryston, which I'm very happy about. In fact, it's actually a darker print than the other two I have. So each print of this I have is light, medium, and dark. So it's pretty. You probably can't tell, but it is, in direct comparison to the other two, a very significant darker print on the text. And also give a shout out to my friend Joe for giving me my first Paradur, however you pronounce it. Uh, First copy, and I gotta say, the artwork is surprisingly worse in person. As funny as that is to say, surprisingly worse in person. And I hate how his armor and all the background are holographic. You can't see it there, but most of his armor is holographic, and it's kind of crappy. I wish they only left his armor holographic and the sword in the background non-holographic, or did it the other way, because it just looks cruddy that way. Anywho, to the video. I'm going to do a step-by-step cool little tips and tricks of the Noble Knights. Also, don't know if I mentioned it before, but I got my playset of holographic Galatins the other day. Thursday or Friday, I can't remember. Very happy about that. Now I just need a playset of holographic Arthaduters and pick up the rest of the archetype, and I'm set. Gwenhwyfar. Gwenhwyfar, Queen of the Noble Arms, is everything the deck was hoping for to fix a lot of the problems, because she re-equips either from the hand or graveyard. She's a light level 2 spellcaster effect, 300 attack and defense. None of that really matters, except, her being light means she can be stopped by light imprisoning mirror in the graveyard. Sorry. But not from the hand, as I actually experienced the other day. Someone side decked 3 light imprisoning mirrors against me, and she was in my hand, and I was like, equip the boars, go to town. So, but her effects is accurate read. You can target one Noble Knight monster you control. You equip this card from your hand or graveyard to that target. You can only use this effect of Gwenhwyfar, Queen of Noble Arms, once per turn. The equipped monster gains 300 attack. Apply the appropriate effect depending on the attribute of the equipped monster. Light, if the equipped monster would be destroyed by a card effect, you can destroy this card instead. Dark, if the equipped monster battles an opponent's monster, at the start of the damage step, you can destroy this monster. You can destroy that monster, then destroy this card. Which, honestly, this could say nothing that your monster gains an effect. The fact is, like, if all it read was you can equip it to a monster, period, a Noble Knight, period, this card would be invaluable. 300 attack bonus, cool. That's awesome. That is candy on top. The destruction protection for light Noble Knights, okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty nice. Which for a quick ruling verification, if you have Destiny and Gwenhwyfar equipped and your opponent Dark Hold, Destiny will step up first. Destiny is mandatory to protect your monster. Gwenhwyfar will never have an opportunity to step up to protect your monster first. So they Dark Hold, Destiny will activate, protect your monster. Well, it doesn't activate, it'll just kick in and be like, it's continuous protection, so this will always step up first. Then Gwenhwyfar or something else happens will protect it, which sucks because, well, it works that way because Gwenhwyfar is optional. Destiny is not. So Destiny will protect you from battle and mass destruction, while Gwenhwyfar will only protect you from mass destruction. So your opponent can literally Dark Hole, this will protect it, and then attack and kill your monster, and Gwenhwyfar can't do anything about it. Which kind of sucks. If you could use her effect to protect from mass destruction, then use Destiny's effect, that would be so much better. But the light protection, the protection for light monster really doesn't matter. You will never really leave it equipped to a king or a sacred ever. Equipping her to your Dryston will always be epic. So, equip, pop, attack, Ode Mirror Force, whatever. What's really epic about her is her second effect for your monster, where dark monsters instantly become catasters. And because her effect says destroy the monster at the start of the damage step, they don't flip, which is better. Catastor says at the start of the damage step, if the monster is not dark, destroy it. Well, at the start of the damage step, the monster is so face down, hence why Catastor cannot destroy face downs. She, on the other hand, does not, he can't destroy it because you don't know what attribute it is. It doesn't have an attribute, so it can't destroy it. Gwenhwyfar, on the other hand, doesn't care. If it's a monster, destroy it. Doesn't flip. Gravekeepers, this is Gravekeeper's nightmare. Literally, this is the nightmare for Gravekeepers. Is that a set Raikou? Pop it. If it's a set Fossil Dinopapiosaurus, pop it. Face down monsters will never get flipped as long as you have a Noble Knight who becomes dark with Gwenhwyfar. So, flip effects are literally no longer a problem. Penguin Soldier doesn't mean anything anymore. So, that's really cool. That's awesome. Monsters who effect activates from being destroyed by battle. Completely bypassed thanks to her. So, honest and true, the fact that she can re-equip from the graveyard means all your Noble Knights, which the entire deck is pretty much a 2-card combo, are live instantly. So we can top deck into better plays. We can actually top deck and make a recovery thanks to her. And her Catastrophe Superiorso effect is awesome. And yeah, also, interesting thing I had happen. Gwenhwyfar versus Gwenhwyfar does not win. As confusing as that sounds, it makes perfect sense. Gwenhwyfar versus Gwenhwyfar. I had a mirror match with my friend Blade Ace. Check out his channel. He's cool. He had Madrat on the field, which basically, don't worry about the situation. He had Madrat on the field. I stopped him from specialing. He had Gwenhwyfar. I summoned Dryston. Equipped my Gwenhwyfar to pop his Madrat. Well, he's like, no, effect failure. And I didn't know better, but I thought, oh, I'll attack. His Gwenhwyfar will attempt to pop my monster. My Gwenhwyfar will disappear to protect it. His will go away, and my Dryston will beat his Madrat by 100 points. Didn't happen. Basically, what happened is his Gwenhwyfar tried to pop my monster. My Gwenhwyfar sent itself to protect Dryston. His Gwenhwyfar stayed attached because my monster didn't die. Because the effect reads, if the equipped monster battles an opponent's monster at the start of the damage step, you can destroy that monster, then destroy this card. You can destroy that monster, then destroy this card. Which I'm not sure if that was a glitch in Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro, or if that's the actual ruling for it, which I'll do some research, which is kind of cool. Don't know, just throwing it out there. If you know anything, please comment. If not, I'll get back to you on it. That's pretty much everything I have on her. Love this card, and thank you again, Dan. Thank you. Gallatin. Well, first of all, number one thing to note is these 4 will always re-equip, or if these cards are popped, when they leave the field, they can re-equip to your monster, which is cool. They can only be equipped. They can all be equipped to warrior type monsters, which is cool. From here over. These two, on the other hand, can be equipped to only noble knights, but they don't care if it's warriors. So DNA surgery and zombie world can go hell. Like these guys. Yeah. Gallatin, anything interesting to know? Had a noble knight mirror match the other day where he had Sacred King on the field and had Kaiser Coliseum, so we literally can only control one monster each. I had boars on the field just loaded up with Lady of the Lake attached and Destiny, and literally we were at a stalemate, and it literally got to 14 turns, and both our monsters had minus 2,800 attack. That was an interesting thing, though. So if your opponent controls a warrior monster and you just can't be over it, but you can buy yourself time, just equip Gallatin to it. If you can wait, it'll finally drop down low enough in attack that you can just kill it. Just for an interesting note on Gallatin. Arthur. Equipped it to your opponent's warrior monsters, then pop their backfields and decrease their monster's attack. It's glorious. My opponent had a Photon Strike Bouncer. It's like, equipped, because it's a warrior. Pop your back row, summon my monster, equip Gallatin, beat over it, you can't do anything, then activate Boar's effects. Search. There's a ruling that I'm not sure on. Supposedly, if your monster is protected by Forbidden Lance, you can activate Arthur and your monster's attack will not decrease by 500. And you still get to pop a back row on your opponents. You still get to pop a face down. Not sure about that. Caliburn, you gain 500 life points. What's not to like? And it gives you a 500 boost. Trying to think, is there any cool combos? Equip this to... There's nothing really interesting combo-wise you can do with Gallatin other than decrease your opponent's monster's attack. Arthur is great for popping face down, especially if your opponent has a Blackluster Soldier. Equip it to Blackluster, decrease its 500 attack, and pop a face down that they control. If your opponent has Pleiades, equip it to Pleiades. Either he will bounce it or you're going to pop one of his back row. It's like, either way, you're going to make him use a Exceed material. Because, like, hey, I'm going to pop your back row. Do you want to keep your back row? No. Get rid of it. Because he can bounce it back. Arthur is a really great offensive and defensive card. Which anyone who says, this card is garbage, you're an idiot. You're not using the card right. Don't call the card garbage when you are not playing the deck correctly. Keywords there. I only call you an idiot if you keep saying that card's garbage. I can understand there's matchups that this is worthless against. Heretics is worthless against. Chain Burn, worthless against. Ghost Tricks, kind of useful. Kind of. Caliburn, 500 life points. This card has actually single-handedly allowed me to beat Chain Burn without roll decrees. I've actually gone games where I just kept gaining enough life points that I was able to survive long enough to beat them or get to their life points. Destiny keeps your monster from dying. Once per turn, a nearby battle orb destruction, you can actually MST it to pop it, re-equip it to re-protect your monster. Best ruling note is Destiny works just like Dragosack. If you have to, if your opponent mass destructions to restore your monster and Destiny will pop, your monster will survive, and Destiny will be equipped. I love Destiny so much for that. Excalibur! Protects your monster. Great card. Your opponent cannot target, but it does not re-equip, but it is a rank up or rank down exceed card, which is great. It's a rank up magic. You can turn Artorigus into Sacred King, or you can turn Sacred King into regular King. Either way is good. Which, by the way, it's almost always almost an unwritten rule that going from Artorigus, King of the Noble Knights, into Sacred King is usually a very safe play. But going down is kind of a dangerous play. And remember, when you rank up or rank down, your king is vulnerable. They can Solemn Warning, they can Effect Bearer, they can do any number of things to stop you. Now, if you are on King and detach and pop over your opponent's back row, you're pretty safe to rank up to Sacred and re-equip and go to town. But if your opponent has a bunch of back row and you have King, Sacred King, and you rank down, you might get screwed. You're sitting on a beat stick of a boss. Why risk it? That's pretty much it for Noble Arms. Honestly and truly, the cool ruling tricks are for Arthur and Queen, because the rest, it's not really anything you can talk about other than you can gain 1500, because every time this resets to the field, you can use its effect again, because you can use this effect once per turn. You can use this effect once per turn. You can only use Excalibur effect to bash it to upgrade or downgrade once per turn. So you cannot activate multiple Excaliburs. You cannot activate multiple Gwenhwyfars equipping, but you can use the effects if you have 2 equipped on the field already, which is cool. That's all I have to say. Comment, rate, subscribe. Tell me what you think. Tell me if you have any questions. Ask. And I guess the question of the day is, do you know any rulings on Arthur plus Forbidden Lance? Appreciate it. Hope you have a great night. Bye.